morning, and welcome to Morning Brew with your girl, Germaine. Another day we're here for a great brew topic today. Peace ain't passive, it's a power move. So, as you are coming in, hope all is doing well. Hey, Jesse Moss, 92775 over on Instagram. Good to have you on this morning. And we are getting started with today's brew on Morning Brew with Germaine. Peace ain't passive, it's a power move. So before we get into it, just want to give it a few moments for people to start chiming in and let me know what you're drinking. I'm brewing my coffee right now. So I'm just getting used to having my coffee around 10:30. I am. So I'll drink water in the morning prior to the morning brew. Okay. But let me know what you're drinking as you're chiming in. Just stop by, say hello. Hopefully, you have a few minutes to chime in. Sneak away from your desk if you're at work, or hey, maybe you're just out and about and you want to just pull it up on YouTube, which you can at Morning Brew with Germaine. And you can go to Facebook and pull it up under I got too many different. I need to pull it all together. I need to make everything just Morning Brew with Germaine. So bear with me. As you can see, changes are happening all the time. So we'll be updating even social media and everything. But just check in the description and you can see where you can chime in at, okay? On YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all those good things. All right. So right now, what we're going to do is I'm just going to start getting a message. So I know if you're sneaking away for a quick coffee break because you want to spend that coffee time with me, then I won't hold you long. So let's get into this message. Peace ain't passive, it's a power move. So today we're going to choose peace with intention. So I just want to say, we live in a world or we live in a culture that glorifies the clapback, speaking loud, and always trying to prove a point. But true power, think about this, true power often shows up in silence, in stillness, in choosing your battles with wisdom. If you're all familiar with Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, I hope everybody should be familiar. She's one of those Democrats that's in the forefront, just really, you know, being out there and just really fighting for the people, we the people. And so, but I just want to use her as a reference because the one thing I love about her is how I don't care how chaotic it is, I don't care the storm that's brewing around her. She has a level of grace, she has a level of restraint to still be able to get her powerful message across without even raising her voice. That is something that definitely I need to work on. That is something I need to master because she does it so gracefully, but she is someone that knows her business and you feel her passion. You see her, how genuine she is in her fight. And so, but I just admonish her and I'm so encouraged and inspired by how she's able to be in the midst of those storms as she is fighting for the people. And she does not have to raise her voice to still pack a powerful punch and still try to restrain her peace, and keep her peace sacred. So, I just thought about her when I thought about peace ain't passive, it's a power move. So, this brew is going to flip the script on peace, not as avoidance or weakness, but as an intentional strategic decision. All right. So let me get my coffee before we go into, let me pull it up because now we're going to be entering into pour into purpose. So let me just grab my coffee so we could talk about it. Ooh, that's hot. Give me a second. Get my creamer. Hazelnut is what we're drinking today. Yes, that's my coffee of choice. And adding a little hazelnut to it. But let's start getting into, I'm sorry for the clacking and stuff. I'm just trying to mix it up real quick so I can get, okay. Sorry about that. All right, so let's get into pour into purpose. Let's start pouring. So, peace is not retreat, it's strategy. Choosing peace doesn't mean you're weak. Not at all. Doesn't mean you're weak at all. I don't want you to think that when you're choosing peace, because if you think about, there's a lot of people out here right now wish there was a way, if they could pay to get peace, they would. But peace isn't something you could pay for with like the dollar. Mm-mm. Something you have to work on, and you have to treat it as if it is sacred. Yes, your life depends on it. You got to think about it like that, your peace. And so, choosing peace doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're wise. It's not about avoiding conflict, not at all. It's about deciding what's worth your energy. How many people giving your energy away to things that's not worth it? We do it. I'm guilty of it. We do. And then you have to think, wait a minute, why am I doing this? Is it worth it? Most times it's not. Hold on. And so, real peace is a position, it's not a passive reaction. So, it's how you protect your vision. Think about that. How you protect your vision. Because let me tell you, I think sometimes people are strategic in wanting to throw you off course. And I'm not saying that's everybody. I'm just saying, if you look at in your own life, if you look at those that are in, that have entered into your space, are you protecting your space? Are you protecting your peace? Or are you allowing somebody to just come in and disrupt it with their own agenda? And you're going along with their program, knowing, knowing you have a vision already in mind on where you need to be and where you are heading. But you choose to allow somebody to come in and disrupt the space, disrupt your peace. My advice is, don't do it. Learn. It's listen, we have to learn how to. It's not that you just wake up one morning and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm going to be full of peace today and nobody is going to come in my space and take anything away from me, disrupt my peace. It would be nice if we could do that. But life happens. As we're saying, life is life in right now. And little small things, if you're not careful, will set you off. That will send you to a place that it's like, where's my peace? I done gave it away, lost it along the way, allowed somebody to come in and take it away. So protect your peace. All right. So, guys, let's continue to pour a little more into purpose, right? Mm, this coffee is so good. Just want to tell you that. So let's continue to pour into purpose. Calm is a weapon, not a weakness. Calmness, stillness. Think about it. It could be a weapon and not a weakness. You know, ask yourself, take inventory really quickly, just where you are, present day, right now, in this moment. Are you sitting or operating in a space of calmness, which means your whole being is not agitated, it's not anxious, it's just calm, calm, right? Are you sitting in that space right now? Or do you feel like, I don't even know how to get to a place of calm in my busy schedule, my everyday life, what's going on around me, don't want to miss out on anything? Calm, what's that? What is calm, right? Is that where you are presently right now? So let's talk about, in a world that applauds loud reactions, you guys know there's always something going on. And if you're on this internet, if you're watching TikTok and then got caught out on TikTok, if you're watching, these reels and just social media, then you hear all the noise. You hear all the chaos. You hear everybody's opinions out loud. Can you find calm in any of that? It's hard to do. Sometimes you have to shut it off. I'm going to just turn it off. I'm going to turn off my device. I'm going to turn off the noise. I'm not going to take any calls. I just need to be still. I just need to sit in this space for a few minutes. Staying grounded is radical, right? So, loud reactions, loud noise, everybody's speaking, everybody's opinions are magnified right now. Oh my gosh, just thinking about it is giving me a head spin. Just thinking about it. All the noise that's happening in the world today, all the noise. Your ability to remain still in chaos will speak louder than any comebacks, any noise. But I'm telling you, when I tell you it's about practicing stillness, I'm going to share a little something with you before we get into our final pour, right? But let me say this: your calm confuses the enemy. Your calm confuses the enemy and empowers your next move. Whew. Wow. So let me get through the final pour, and then I'm going to share a little story of how God gave me three things in the midst of chaos, storm, loud noise. He gave me three things that I live by. But let me finish the final pour into purpose before we talk about it. Mm. So, you don't have to react to prove your strength. That's what I was saying, even with sharing Jasmine Crockett, right? In the beginning. So, she's been able to just master how to remain calm in the midst of loud noise, chaos, just on a battlefield. And it's amazing to see, but when you see her with her comeback and how she is able to literally put people in a position, put people in position just by her knowledge, her know-how, and her stillness and her calmness. I think that part blows people away because they're expecting a different reaction. But when she comes with the grace of getting her point across, never raising her voice, that's a mind blower. So once again, that confuses the enemy. They don't know what to do with that. What do you do with that? I'm not expecting that response. I'm expecting you to come back this way. This is how I know to fight that, but I don't know how to fight this. I don't know what to do with this. That calmness and that stillness. So, anyway, let's get into this last pour, the final pour. Excuse me, into purpose. So you don't have to react to prove your strength. Not every battle deserves your attention. Please, please understand that. For those that just have a fight in you and you want to fight every time somebody may pop off at you, or every time somebody had something to say negative about you, and you just built for the fight, stop giving your power away. Stop giving your power away. Stop giving your energy away to things that they don't matter in the bigger picture of things. But you have to make that decision. Everything should not get your time or your energy. Keep that in mind. Okay. And so, setting boundaries and choosing silence can be the most powerful answer. Listen, shake some things up. People are already, sometimes, depending on just your journey and who you're dealing with in life, people sometimes are expecting you to show up a certain way. You know how you throw them off their game? You show up a different way. And so don't give your power to them. for them thinking they already know you. Work on that stillness and work on being calm and showing up differently. Okay. So you are not called to every argument. Keep that in mind. Let them argue by themselves. If they want to argue, listen, just say, you know what? I just don't have words. I'm going to step out because I don't even have the energy. I don't have the energy to even take on your energy at this moment. So you know what? I'm going to leave. But don't feel like you have to defend yourself in every argument just because someone's bringing that to you. You don't try practicing walking away. You are called to your assignment. Stay focused on that, right? Okay, stay focused on that. So um before we go into our next segment, I just want to share a little story that really resonated in the Pour Into Purpose. So, my well, maybe you don't know. So my background, I worked in the entertainment music industry for some years and had the opportunity of really being able to work with artists like the late DMX and the Locks. And so with that, when DMX passed away, and wow, I can't believe how much time has gone by. Wow. But when he passed away a few years ago, after, COVID, while we were in the midst of COVID, coming through COVID and everything, um, his uncle is my partner. He's a business partner of mine for years. And so God has a way of making increase. Yes, he does. Even when you don't know where increase is coming, just trust and know. God, I always say money grows on trees, money falls from the sky. Yeah, it sounds a little crazy, but you know what? That's just exercising a level of faith that know that God is in total control. And he is the author and finisher and the provider of to give access to all of that. But nevertheless, um, I was asked, can you help me? To be, and I never shared this story. I never really shared this story. I don't know why I'm led to share this story right now, in this morning brew, but it just really, I want to talk about the power of the stillness and being calm, right? And allowing your peace really to become your power. So in the story, I was asked if I could help with his funeral service, his arrangements and everything. And my heart to my partner, um DMX's uncle, as we call him, Uncle Ray, my heart to him is just, it was for him. And I know how dearly, how much he loved his nephew. And so I think I said yes. I spoke to my husband. I think I said yes before I even realized and knew how much and where it was all coming from. But when I tell you, when you step out on faith and you trust and believe God, God will make the increase. He will make the difference. And he will position you, and he will put favor. He will give you favor. And so I ended up helping with sending him home, for his funeral services. And it was about six figures. And where did that come from? Guys, today I'm still scratching my head. Like, God, how did you even make that possible? But you did, right? And with that, in that journey, in that span of time of being able to wait out, because I want to give thanks to some people. I want to give thanks, one, to to Shara to Shara for being DMX's um his ex-wife. I want to thank her because when she realized what had been done, what I had did, she made a promise to me, that when they settled everything, pretty much, that she would reimburse the the monies. And so I just want to thank her, because she was definitely a woman of her word, and she said, Germaine, you'll be the first that we take care of. And I have to tell you, it was about a year later, and you know what? She did just that. So definitely want to thank her along the journey. And there's so many others that, we can't do this thing by ourselves, that I want to thank. And so at the end of the day, the three things, and this is the point that I really wanted to get to. The point I really wanted to get to was that God gave me three things along this 1 year journey. And now, if I could be as transparent with you, I am. And so, you know, I'm a believer, and I believe that God will make a way out of no way, even when you don't know how it's coming, when it's coming, and where it's coming from. He is just like that. But the thing is, you also have to work on exercising a level of faith and believing and knowing that God can do just that. The impossible, when you're looking at bank accounts and you're just like, God, I don't see it. I don't know where it's coming from. Where is it? Right. But God has a way. He has a way. He hears the cries. He knows the desires of our hearts. And and so in this period of time, God just sustained me through the whole entire year. And all I knew to do was to do the work of the assignment that God had given me. And it was my publishing company, feeding and pouring in and giving people the platform to be able to share their stories with the world. And so, with that, God gave me these three things. And they were, the first one was, be still. Be still. Now, I'm going to be honest. It is hard to be still when you are somebody that always feels like you have to fix something, or you are a problem solver, and you're constantly looking to solve problems. It's hard. When I say it's hard, to the point I had broke down one time crying because I was told to sit down and be still. Do not move. I didn't realize it was teaching me. I didn't realize the lesson I was learning in that, being still. And it's not just sitting down because something in you still wants to stand up, something in you still wants to go do. It's not that. It is arresting your whole everything, your whole being, to come under submission and be still. No fight, no warring, no confusion. Just be still and be at peace. I had to learn it the hard way, but you know what? It is well worth the wait. It's well worth going through the process to get that, to learn and understand what peace means and being still in your peace. It is well worth it. So if you are struggling and if you are fighting, be still, and be still every ounce of your being. Learn how to be still and sit within yourself. And so that was the first thing God gave me on this journey, right? After sowing in into the late DMX, right? And the second thing was, be watchful. Be watchful. Now, I didn't understand what all that meant at the time, but I knew it was, be observant of your surroundings, how things are moving, how people are moving, how people are being, even in your space. Now, mind you, I am in a season of my life. I had just literally just been obedient, and God just blessed to be able to make it possible to give him this homegoing that his uncle really wanted for his family and everything, to really be able to have this home going. And you're probably wondering, like, why didn't he have the money? I mean, there was monies and there was other stories to go along with that, but at the time, that wasn't my focus. God gave an assignment and I was obedient, and God showed himself in all of that along that whole entire journey, it just came through this way. And so the second thing was be watchful. So I found myself in a place of really just being watchful of my surroundings, of things that was happening, of people that was entering into my space. Now, mind you, I'm still going through this process of being still and finding this peace, this inward peace, and now being watchful. So those two things together. And then he added a third thing: do not insert yourself. Yeah. See, if you guys knew me, if you know me, you know that it's like I don't like seeing people hurt. I don't like seeing people in pain. I don't like it's always wanting to be um to solve the problem. And but in this season, I had to be still, I had to be watchful, and I couldn't insert myself. And I think some of the hardest lessons with the do not insert yourself came right in my own household with my husband. Because I'm such a wanting to fix everything, seeing a problem and wanting to fix it. I had to learn how to step back, take my hands off it, take my mouth off it, and not even say, well, you should do, and let me help you with, and how he had to go through his process to get where he is. It's hard. Oh my gosh. It's hard. And if anyone can understand what I'm saying, it is hard to really be in that space of not being able to do what you're so used to doing and what you're so comfortable with doing. So I just said, God, I don't know what you're up to. I don't know what you're up to, especially when you're going through it. You just have to be obedient and go through it because he knows there's something, a greater reward on the other side of it. And so going through that process, I just went through. I stand by the mantra, those three things: be still, be watchful, and do not insert yourself. Even to this day, I stand by those things. Sometimes I have to be reminded because I want to go back to old ways. And it's like, no, every assignment he did not connect me to. It's not my job, right? It's not what I'm assigned to. It will take you off course. It will take you off your journey. And I don't know why I'm going in this direction, but it's all about peace. It's about stillness. It's about being able to put yourself in a different space, frame of mind in a world that is so chaotic, full of chaos, full of noise, full of just stuff. So there is purpose even in me sharing this for the first time ever. And I'm still a little reserved about it because it was never my place or my position to put it out there. God gave me something. He chose me to do a thing, and I just said yes, and to do it. And the beauty in it, he made sure the provisions were made for it. I was just a willing vessel that he could work through to actually see this thing all the way through. And I was just grateful to be used that way. But I tell you, talk about an increase of one's faith. Talk about being able to have peace and still, whereas you feel like you can walk right through the chaos and not even be affected by it. Whew. Man, I don't know why I felt a release just now. I really just felt a release just now. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me the space to even be able to share in this moment. Um, and once again, it's still about peace ain't passive. It's a power move. So maybe God was just showing me a few power moves. I don't know. But those three things, it may resonate with you. It may not. I don't know. But anyway, for me, the mantra God gave me in that season, be still, be watchful, and do not insert. Those things have been life changing for me, and I live by it. So, anyway, okay, thank you, thank you for giving me the space and the time to be able to just share in this moment, I just felt led to share. So, right now, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do something we all can participate in. Let's talk about the reflection questions. So in this space, we can all participate in. And I have someone new joined in on Instagram, Miss. Okay, I'm gonna mess that all up. Uh, Exquisite 21. That's it. Thank you so much for joining the community today. I hope you find value. I hope you find value in Morning Brew with Germaine, and you'll come back into the community. And so, but let me say this. I'm going to also just post, before we get into the reflection questions, because, so many people, they have asked, how can we support your morning brew with Germaine? And so, you know what? I just partner with a company, something as small as buying me a coffee for as little as $1. So I'm just going to share this in the comments. And if you decide you want to just share, hold on one second. Why I share this in the comments. And then, you know what? Actually, before we get into the reflection question, since I'm talking about it, let me just add it up on the screen real quick. So I know, I don't, I'm just going to put it out there because, like I said, people have been asking, and I thank them so much because if something is resonating with them and they're finding value in Morning Brew with Germaine, the inspirational messages they can take throughout their day, the encouragement, being able to take that along their journey, then thank you because I know it helps me. So, with that, you can actually click on the QR code, it'll take you right there, or you could just click the link. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's my dog. But all right, so let's say this. So with that, let's get into, and I'll leave this up on the screen for now. But let's get into the reflection questions that we all can partake in, okay? In your own time. And so, where in your life are you confusing peace with passivity or avoidance? Where in your life are you confusing peace with passivity or avoidance? Hey, let it steep for a moment. Hey, you can even water it over time and just when it comes back up in your life, say, hey, I remember that question. And then the next reflection question is, what would it look like to strategically protect your peace this week? Yeah, please start working on that. You'll find yourself to be a new person, a different person, and not let things affect you that would normally affect you. It's not worth the energy sometimes. It's just not. So, what would you like? What would it look like to strategically protect your peace this week? That's the second question. Okay. So, guys, thank you so much for giving me the space again. Now we're getting into the final sip. So, we're getting into the final sip, and this is where we pretty much just wrap up the morning brew and bring it to a close. And so, in this final sip today, you don't need to prove your power by making noise. You don't. You don't need to prove your power by making noise. Let your peace speak louder than your reaction because it will. I tell you, you'll shake some things up. People that aren't expecting you to walk in that way, right? Remember, a calm mind is a clear weapon, and you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Take that away with you. If you're someone and you find people just want to bring you the drama and the heat and stuff like that, just walk away. You ain't got to listen. You don't have to participate in it. This is one time like, nope, I'm not interested, right? It's up to you though. Unless you just like the fight. I don't know. So remember this, peace isn't passive, it's a decision to preserve your purpose. You don't own chaos of response. You own your future, your discipline. So, guys, you know how we do in this final sip. We sip slow, we stay rooted, and let peace lead the way. So, thank you. Your energy with intention this week. Okay? All right. So, do that for you. Give yourself that gift. And once again, thank you all for chiming in. Thank you all for just being a part of Morning Brew with Germaine, showing up. You know, we are here. And I got all these people. Hey, let me just say shout outs to those that have chimed in. Good morning, Leslie. Hey to my sister, Hey, Big Sis. And then, hey, Cooking with D. Good morning, beautiful. Her new cookbook. Make sure you go and purchase that on Amazon. It's Southern Dishes for the Soul. Yes. So thank you all for chiming in. And so I just want to say, Fridays, you know what we do, or maybe you don't. And I'm going to tell you Fridays is Morning Brew with Germaine, Authors Brew Friday. So, yes, we have a new author in studio tomorrow. Make sure you stop by. Her book is actually going live tomorrow, rolling out. Tomorrow's her rollout date. She has a huge event on Saturday in Michigan. So, yes, please make sure you chime in tomorrow for our author in studio. It'll be a treat for you. And so, look forward to having you there. And once again, if you have not done so, please make sure you go over to our community on YouTube at Morning Brew with Germaine and make sure you chime in. Make sure you actually subscribe and get those notifications. We also come back at 6:05 p.m. for the evening pour. So if you missed some of the message, you're able to get it again this evening. Or guess what? You can go get it right after we finish, right? So thank you all. I love you so much, more than you will ever know. But thank you for joining in. And guess what? We'll be back tomorrow. And I hope you can join us for coffee tomorrow as well. So I'll say, see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye bye. And make sure you're safe. Bye.